Hello friends, today we'll talk about how to bake white sandwich bread in a very simple way with delicious results. I will show everything you need to know, ingredients, equipment and step-by-step procedure. Making bread at home is an amazing process, it's very therapeutic and it is guaranteed to take away your stress and unwind you. Precise and accurate measurement for all the ingredients is very important in baking. So what we have here is a scale, and you will see that I'm measuring all my ingredients here based on the scale. I highly encourage you to invest into this because spoons and cups can measure differently, but if you have a gram scale, that is very helpful in getting exactly all the right ingredients. So as you can see, I have measured all my ingredients, and now I'm measuring my flour. I can measure it in cups, but it's much better. So the recipe asks for 450 to 500 grams of flour. Now why there is a range is because it can be very different based on humidity, based on the flour that you're using, based on your loaf pan that you're going to use and how much you can have. We will use somewhere around 450 to 500 grams. So I'll stick with 450 grams for today. As you can see, I'm taking 450 grams flour. I have 35 grams of sugar. I have 10 grams of salt. I have 25 grams of yeast and 50 grams of butter. So here we have our butter. As you can see, I just gave it 35 to 40 seconds in microwave and melted it. So all of our ingredients we can just start putting into the bowl. Now in order to simplify the process, I told you that I'll tell you what you need to do, what you don't need to do. A lot of people actually take some warm water, put their yeast in there and let it grow, but that's not very important. You can do it if you want to try your yeast, but if you're confident that your yeast will work, you don't need to do that step. So we'll just mix all the ingredients into our mixing bowl here. You can mix your dough with your hands, that's also possible, and it's actually sometimes preferred, but just to save some time, we can use the stand mixer here. So as you can see, we are mixing all the ingredients in the bowl. I just want to make sure that I stir it. I have this very handy silicone spatula that I can use, so it can help mix all the ingredients. I have very warm water sitting here on the side that I will use to make my dough. I'm going to, you can use a mixing attachment to just mix it out, or you can go straight to your dough hook. So I'm just gonna go straight to the dough hook. So as you can see, I have my dough hook attached, and I'm going to just start mixing and kneading my dough. So I'll start with the first setting on the stir and just add my water in slowly. If at any point you want to stop it, you can mix your ingredients again. If you see that it's not coming along, you can just do that. How much water do you need? You need probably somewhere around 425 to 435 grams of very warm water. But again, it depends on the humidity level in your house. It depends on the time of the year. It depends on the dough that you're using and a whole bunch of other elements. So you have to look at it and you have to see how it is going, and then add more water if necessary. As you can see in the mixer, we have our mixer going on second speed now. We ran it on slow speed for a couple of minutes, and now it's on the second setting. It's just working that gluten and it's mixing it nicely. So friends, I've taken my dough out of my stand mixer just to show you, in case you don't have stand mixer, how you can knead your dough. You need to gently knead it. You can't do it very hard or very with strong hands. You have to gently knead it, and you see all I'm doing is bring it in and knead it out. Twist, bring it in, knead it out. Twist, bring it in, knead it out. You just rotate it by 90 degrees, bring top in, and then just knead it out gently, and you'll see how it all is getting together. So you can knead this dough. You can mix just like regular dough and then knead it gently like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it back into my bowl. No need to clean your bowl. It will once it rises, it will clean your bowl out. You just need to make sure you have a nice bowl, nice ball form, and then you just put it in there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it in a little warm place for 30 minutes minimum to rise. It can again vary based on the temperature and everything. A quick trick is you just take this and you can put a little plastic wrap on it if you're leaving it in a place where something can fall in it, or if you want to keep it warm. That's again optional. What I do is I just open up my microwave here, stick it in, and set the timer to 30 minutes without, you don't need to turn on the microwave. It will cook it. Just leave it in there, or leave in your oven, which may be warm, and it will rise within 30 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes. What you're looking for is so original size is this much. You're looking for it to double in size. So while our dough is rising, what I did is I just scraped my ingredient bowl where I had my butter, and used this silicone brush to just brush the inside of my pan. I'm using this 12 by 5 pan for a big long loaf, but if you want to use a 9 by 5, you can adjust the recipe accordingly. We'll put the ingredient amounts that we can use for each bread size in the notes. So as you can see, our dough has doubled in size. We'll just we'll just do a little dusting of flour on our countertop and just let the whole dough fall out. This on the side here. And what we're going to do is just do a little gentle knead, and then convert this into somewhat of a rectangle. We don't want to be too rough with this. We want to be very nice and gentle with this dough. The reason we're converting that into a rectangle is so we can shape a nice loaf for our bread. So you can do either like this, if you can just turn one side up and the other side up and convert that into a nice loaf. Roughly what we're doing is, our target is this pan, so we're going to just make it the size of this pan here, loaf pan. And as you can see, I'm gently stretching it, gently working with it. You can knead it a little bit to get the bubbles out if you want. That's how much perfection you want. And then gently just take this seam side down and place it into your loaf pan. Just gently make it reach all the corners. Try to make it as uniform as possible. You may want to just push the dough a little bit, work with it, and make sure that it's as uniform as you can get throughout all the corners. Now that's the point where you will leave it again to double in size. And what you're looking for is for it just peeking over the overall pan. So I'm just going to go and get it into my microwave again. Again, microwave is not on. It's just something that I use. I can use any other place where it might be a consistent temperature for the dough to rise. Goes in, another 15 to 20 minutes, but you're looking for it to double in size and kind of dome over your loaf pan. So as you can see, our dough has been rising and it's doubled in size. So we have our oven which has been preheating. You have to preheat it on 350 degrees Fahrenheit and bake it for anywhere between 30 to 40 minutes, keeping an eye on it. And just put it in the oven and close the door. So we baked it for 35 minutes. It just finished baking and we're going to take it out. Looks beautiful. The whole house smells like a bakery. It smells so delicious. That's the best part about baking bread. The house smells delicious after that. So you need to let it rest for 20, 25, 30 minutes minimum before carving. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just brush it lightly with some butter to give it nice sheen on top. So I'll just do it while it's still in the loaf pan. I can take it out and do it then, but it's your choice. All you need to do is just go around all the edges, just brush it nicely and beautifully with butter. And now we'll let it rest. After this, we'll let it rest for 30 minutes and then we'll be back. When your bread is fully baked, all you have to do is just take it out of the pan. So we can just take the pan and just take it out very nicely. You see how easily it comes out. We'll put it back on its for resting. So our bread has been resting beautifully for last 20-25 minutes, I believe. I love this nice overhang that you can see because of the pan. It's a good feature in the quality bread. You can see some very nice crust on top. Another way of looking at whether the bread is good or not is the hollow sound, and you can hear the hollow sound. That means the bread has been baked beautifully, so it's ready to be sliced. So let's do that. In order to slice your bread, you need a serrated knife. If you have any other knife, it will kind of push the bread down and make it more dense. So if you want to cut your bread and let it remain the fluffy texture, you have to use a serrated knife and don't push down. You just have to kind of go back and forth with that. So let's see how beautiful it is. So we're cutting our first slice. This is beautiful texture. You see how it's uniformly cooked and very, very nice and very fluffy and light. So that's what you want to see in your bread. So we can cut, it's our choice. That's the good part of baking your own bread. You have a choice of how thin or how thick of the slices you want. I'm just going to go slow on this and see how just back and forth motion with a serrated knife, it cuts beautifully. So as you can see, our bread is nicely sliced and ready for us to eat. You can just you see each toast is holding itself, and it has some nice beautiful texture to each one of the slices. So that is a sign of a very good baked bread. It's still a little bit warm, so as it cools down, it will have its perfect texture as it should. Friends, thank you very much for joining us today. I encourage you to like, subscribe and comment and let us know how we can make it simpler and better. Thank you.